Understand? So today I'm going to be doing the normal top-down analysis. You understand? Mostly this is what I teach. So let me go over again. Somebody said I'm always teaching different strategies, and I'm like, anytime I teach a different strategy, it still comes down to the foundation, support, and resistance. Even when I teach Fibonacci or how to use Fibonacci, you still need your support and resistance. No matter the strategy I teach, we still always use support and resistance. So support and resistance is like the foundation of the strategy. So it's just anytime I teach a new strategy, it's not a different strategy. It's just adding up a little to the support and resistance, right? Yeah, and I keep saying anytime you learn a strategy and you are using the same thing and it's not working, mostly when you are being taught a strategy, is giving you an idea of how you can also make your own strategy. You understand? So if like I'm using a daily time frame, I'm using 4 hours and I'm using 1 hour, you can also sit down. Maybe that daily 4 hours and 1 hour is too much for you. And it doesn't go with your trading or the way you trade. Maybe you trade in 5 minutes, you understand? So you can just use the strategy I taught you and just change the time frames so that it can suit you. Understand? Realize I can use a strategy that is working so much for me, but when you use it, it's not really working so much for it because maybe that strategy I enter in a 1 hour time frame and you are just familiar with 15 minutes. You understand? So if I use three time frames, you can just change the time frames and make it be so that the last entry or the lower time frame entry will be on your 15-minute time frame. So let's say I use the weekly, I use the daily, and I use 4 hours. Understand? You can also use 1 hour, you can use 50 minutes and 5 minutes. You understand? Using the same strategy I taught about, you know, just changing the time frame so it can suit you. You understand? Anytime you learn a strategy, you make sure you make a little bit of the changes so that it can like suit you. Understand? Good. Somebody say, thank you for the opportunity. Bless you and your sister. Nana is not a girl, it's a boy. Nana is not a girl, Nana is a boy. Okay, so now let's start with today's lesson. So this Euro USD, right? This is Euro USD. And you're going to be doing the normal thing. So you are going to be learning top-down analysis today. When I say top-down analysis, it's just analyzing from a higher time frame to a lower time frame. So when you hear somebody talking about top-down analysis, it's analyzing from the higher time frame to the lower time frame. That's top-down analysis, guys. That's simply top-down analysis. And in my top-down analysis, what do? I first go into the weekly time frame, and the weekly time frame, I find some turning points. Then I go into the daily time frame. In the daily time frame, I find the trend of the market in the daily time frame. Then I come into the 4 hour time frame to find what the inside turning point. It's called inside turning point because we found a turning point in the weekly. So if you're coming to the lower time frame, it means you are going inside. You understand? So that's the inside turning point. And you come to the 1 hour time frame, that's where you find your support and resistance, and you can just execute your trade. You understand? You can just execute your trade. So that's what we are going to be doing. So please write it. You are using the weekly time frame, the daily time frame, the 4 hours, and the 1 hour. Okay. So now let me just make an example for you guys. So now let's go into the weekly time frame. So I'm deleting this since you all have written it. I'm deleting it. Okay. Good. So when you're finding your turning point in the weekly time frame, it doesn't have to be much. You understand? Because when you're in the weekly time frame, it means each candlestick you are seeing here, every candlestick you are seeing here that has fully formed was formed in 1 hour, sorry, in a week time. Understand? Every candlestick you see here was formed within in a week time. If I go into the daily time frame, any candlestick you see there was formed 24 hours. When I go into the 4 hour time frame, every candlestick you see there was formed in 4 hours time. You understand? Yeah. So now we are in the weekly time frame. So it means every candlestick you see here formed within the week. You understand? It formed within the week. You understand? Good. So you don't have to find a lot of turning points in a weekly time frame because that's not your main focus. You're a day trader. You understand? You're a day trader. Good. I'm not analyzing. Somebody said you can't hear me. Well, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me very well? Somebody said it's not hearing me well. Can you guys hear me well? Okay, okay. So they said you guys can hear. Okay, good, good. So because you are in a weekly time frame, you're not going to be finding a lot of turning point because that's not our main focus and that's not our main time frame. You understand? We are day traders. The weekly time frame is not really something you should be analyzing. You understand? So in a weekly time frame, you just find your turning point. You understand? And when you're finding your turning point, what do you use? You use your horizontal line. You understand? So let me put the horizontal line here. So we found our first turning point. Let me see. Good. Now this is the second turning point. Let's see if we can get last one. Okay. So I'm going to find the turning point and I'm going to explain to you guys why I've took that level. Good. Excellent. So now let me open it very so you guys can see. All right. So let's start with this first turning point. I took this turning point because you can see when price got to this level, you can see the buys it gave, right? Then it came back to the level, you can see the sales we got, and now you can see the rejection here, price sold, came back to that level, and it sold again. You understand? So price is telling you it finds this level very interesting. You understand? So they are just levels where anytime price gets there, price reacts to the most. You understand? And please, is the meeting record? Yes, I'm recording the meeting and I'm going to be posting it on YouTube. You understand? Good. So you can see this level. Anytime price go to this level, you can see the reaction. And with recent market, price go to the level. You can see the wick we got. It came down. It came back to the level. You can see the wick we had here. You can see the wick. You understand? So you can see this level is a very solid one. So that's why I chose it. That's why I chose it. Now let's go into the second level. Let's go into the second level. Let me use a smaller one. Good. So with this second level, you can see when price got here, you can see the sell we had. You can see here, you can see the sell we had, right? Then here we got price breaking the level. We can see we had a retest before price sold, right? So and then a touch here, a touch here. Now price came back to this level. Now you can see the sell on the same level. You can see the wick it gave. We got a break. We got price touching here. You can see the wick moving upwards. Now price is there again. You understand? So this level is a level price won't just pass through. It has to do something. You understand? So that's why I picked that level. You understand? They are just levels. Price won't just pass through them. You understand? Price will just react. Either it will find it very difficult to break, or will break and will come back to retest it. You understand? How do I draw my horizontal line? The horizontal line is a tool. You understand? It's a tool, right? It's a tool. You can see it here, horizontal line, right? I have it on my tray because I have favorited them. You understand? So once you favorite them, you can see the star here. Once you favorite them, automatically you get them on your tray, so you don't have to be going back and forth on the chart. You can just favorite your favorite tools here, so you can get them here, right? Yeah, it's as simple as that. Now let's go into the last turning point and the reason why I took it. With this one, you can see it's very easy. Another thing that I think people find it very difficult is finding the precise level, because you can see there are a lot of noise. How do you know this is a particular turning point? You see, with that one, you get it when you practice more. You understand? You get it when you practice more. Good. Now let's go into the last turning point in the weekly time frame so you can see the reason why I took them. So you can see anytime price got to this particular turning point, you can see the reaction is given here. You get it? At this point, it was finding very difficult to break. You can see, then we got the break, then we got price retesting the level, moving upwards. We got price retesting the level again, moving upwards. Then we got the break. You can see we got a weak retest. Understand? You can see we have a retest here. Good. Then you can see price getting to this level again. You can see it selling. We got another level. We got price getting to the level again. It's sold. You can see the break and you got the retest again. You can see the buy. So price found this level very interesting. So like the turning points, they are just levels price reacted to the most. You understand? They are just levels price reacted to the most. How will you get this thing correct? When you keep practicing, guys? You always have to practice. Practice all the time. You need to be practicing. You understand? Back test, back test. Understand? Good. So now this is what we found in the weekly time frame. We find our turning point and we have only 3 turning points, and it's okay. Understand? Current price will give you the level you should be drawing your turning point at. So now this is current price, right? This is current price. So now we draw our turning point according to current price. You understand? Current price can't be here and you'll be drawing a turning point at this level. And you'll be drawing a turning point at this level. You understand? Whilst current price is at this level. You understand? So the current price will show you the level you should draw. You should draw turning point that are close to current price. Do you get it? You have to draw levels that are close to current price. Good. Because this is the weekly time frame. If you draw a turning point here, before it will get to this point, then you already have seen your grandchildren, because it's going to take long time. It's going to take a very long time. You understand? Yeah, you're a day trader. Do you get it? Good. Then after that, you go into the daily time frame, guys. You move into the daily time frame. So what did I say you do in the daily time frame? What did I say you do in the daily time frame? Can you guys text it? Good, good, good. I can see. To look for the direction of the market, to look for the trend of the market. Good. Now we are doing that to look for the trend of the market. So in the daily time frame, if I ask you, what's the trend of the market? Let's look at current price. What's the trend of the market right now? Some people are saying bullish, some people are saying bearish. What's the trend of market right now? What's the trend of the market right now? Downtrend. Yes, price is bearish. Price is bearish. You understand? So in the daily time frame, we only draw our trend line. And what do we use in drawing our trend line? The trend line 2. Do you get it? The trend line 2. The trend line 2. So what makes a trend line valid? What makes a trend line valid? Yeah, somebody says it's creating lower highs, lower lows. Yeah, that's market structure. If you know your market structure, you know it's a lower high, lower low. Why didn't I start from the top? Okay, let me start from the top and see something. Okay. If I start from the top, you can see we don't get much touches. Well, how many touches will we get? We only get one. We only get 2 touches, and we ignore this, all these touches. You understand? So that's why I didn't start from the top. So yeah, I didn't start from the top because if I start from the top, you realize we don't get touches here, right? And you'll be like, oh, what makes a trend line valid when it has two or more touches? You understand? So even though we have two touches, but this is not giving a we can have a better one than this. You understand? When you're analyzing and you can have a better analysis or a better trend or a better level than this, that's when you start considering everything. You understand? Because we can have a better trend line than this. You understand? Good. And what's the better trend line when I started from this level? And the more the touches, the more valid your level becomes. Let me just start from here. So we have three touches. The first, second, and the third touch on the trend line. You and I know the third touch on the trend line is mostly massive. It's like 60%, 65%, mostly massive. You understand? Good. Okay, so I tried changing my sense partnership, but I feel like you just don't worry, we are going to help you guys. We're going to assist you on that. All right. So in a weekly time frame, what did we find the weekly time frame? We found our turning point in the weekly time frame. Then we came to the daily time frame. In the daily time frame, what I find we are finding the trend or the direction of the market. Where else are we going? Can you guys text it in the comment section? What else are we going to do? What time frame? What's the next time frame? Yeah, that's great. The 4 hour time frame. The 4 hour time frame. Good. Then we are going to the 4 hour time frame, right? What are we going to find in the 4 hour time frame? What are we going to find in the 4 hour time frame? Okay, we're going to find turning points. Good. So that's that in the 4 hour time frame, we're going to find our inside turning point, guys. Inside turning point. Good. See, guys, when you can find your turning point, you are like 50% done with the analysis. When you can find a good turning point, you are 50% done with the analysis. Okay. So now let me expand, let me open the chart so that we can get a better look at price and the turning points we're going to take. Okay. So the turning point is our horizontal line. Then we give. Let me change the color of the turning point in the 4 hour time frame. Let me make it white. Good. So we have 1 year. And what when you find your turning point, always make sure it's related to current price, guys. Always make sure it's related to current price. You understand? This current price, don't go and be finding a turning point around this level. You understand? It has to be related to current price. Very close to current price at least. Do you understand? At least. Okay. So let's find another level. Now you have another level here. Yeah, you have another level here. Let's find another one. Let's see whether we can find a last one then. That's all. I think that's it. I think let's work with this. I think that's it. You understand? So we have a turning point here, you have a turning point here, and this turning point is in a weekly time frame. You understand? So when you analyze or get a turning point in the weekly time frame, when you come in the lower time frame and you see that weekly turning point, or you see price close to that weekly turning point, you should know that's going to be a very solid level, because anytime you're analyzing market, the higher time frame is more accurate than the lower time frame, right? So when you're seeing a trend line, you're doing the daily time frame, and you're seeing price approaching that level or that trend line, and then maybe 1 hour time frame or 15 minutes, you should know that's a very solid one. You understand? Good. So after finding the turning point in the 4 hour time frame, We then go into the 1 hour time frame. You understand? Then we go into the 1 hour time frame. And what do we do in the 1 hour time frame? What do we do? What do we do in the 1 hour time frame? What do we do in the 1 hour time frame? In the 1 hour time frame, we find what our support and resistance. You understand? Why is this top-down analysis necessary? Why is it important? Why should you understand this strategy? You understand? You have to understand this strategy because you're analyzing from a higher time frame to the lower time frame. When you're in the higher time frame, the noises are less. But when you come into the lower time frame, there are a lot of noise. And I explained the reason why. Because in the higher time frame, when you're in the weekly time frame, each candlestick you see the forms within 1 week, whether it's big or small. You realize some of the candlesticks are bigger than the other. And you'll be like, oh, because this candlestick is small, so it didn't do 1 week, it did maybe 5 days. No, whether big or small, it formed in the weekly. You understand? So when you come to the 1 hour time frame, you come to 5 minute to when you're in the 5 minute time frame to each candlestick before you see the form within 5 minutes. You understand? So it means what there are going to be a lot of noise. That candlestick in the 5 minutes, or maybe 50 or 60 candlesticks in the 5 minutes, can just be one candlestick in the 1 hour. You understand? So in the higher time frame, the market is being summarized. You understand? The market is being summarized for you. You understand? In the higher time frame, the market is being summarized. Do you guys get it? Good. The market is being summarized. So when it comes to the lower time frame and there are lots of noises, you just use, or the higher time frame analysis will just guide you through. You understand? So in the 1 hour time frame, you come to the 1 hour time frame to find out support and resistance. What do? You look at the closest turning point to current price, and which of the turning points are close to current price? What two turning points are close to current price? This one, this one, this turning point in the 4 hour time frame, and this turning point what in a weekly time frame. These two turning points are close to current price, because if price wants to move upwards, this is the immediate turning point is going to see, and if it wants to move downwards, this is the immediate turning point is going to see. So you're going to ask, so where should you draw your support and resistance? When draw your support and resistance, you use the rectangle tool. You can see here the rectangle tool. You just place your rectangle tool on your turning point. You understand? Your support and resistance will automatically be what? On the turning point. So those of you who are finding it very difficult to find support and resistance, this is the antidote for you. You understand? You just place it on the turning point. You understand? You just place it on the turning point. Great. You get it. Now you can see you have a very nice analysis. Do you get it? You can see you have a very nice analysis. If price gets here, you get your confirmations, you can buy. If it gets here, you get your confirmation, you can sell. And you can see this is also a consolidated market. How do you trade consolidating market? You do your resistance, you do your support. You wait for price to either break above, retest, and buy, or break below, retest, and sell. Or you can also be trading the consolidations. When price get to the top, you sell. When you get to the down, you buy. That's when you have a lot of money and you don't know what to use it for. You can just be doing that. Do you get it? Good. So now this is a very solid analysis. And you can see we used 1, 2, 3, 4. We used 4 time frames, but still our analysis or our chart is looking very neat. Let me show you. You can see we use a lot of time frames and we found something in each of the time frames, but still our chart is looking very neat. Understand? This is also another advantage of this strategy. It makes your chart look very neat. You understand? And you can use this for a week. You can use this strategy for a week in case price doesn't use up any of the levels. You can actually use them. You understand? So that's the first strategy we've learned today. We've learned the top-down analysis. What did we actually do in the top-down analysis? Let's start again. You go into the weekly time frame, you find your turning point in the weekly time frame. You go into the daily time frame, find the trend of the market in the daily time frame. Then you go into the 4 hour time frame. Then you find the inside turning points in the 4 hour time frame, you go to the 1 hour time frame, find the support and resistance. Can I explain the trend again? Okay, where did you find the trend? You found the trend in the daily time frame. Good. So what makes a trend valid or a support or a resistance or a turning point valid? When it has two or more touches. You understand? So we had one, two, we had three touches, which made it valid. Do you get it? Good. Somebody said, why didn't we start from the top? When we start from the top, we are not going to get more touches. The more we get touches, the more valid the level is or the trend line is. Do you get it? So the turning, so the turning point. How do you find turning points? How do you find turning point? Why is it even turning point? Why do we even call it turning point? Okay, good. Let me just let me use the 4 hour turning point for you guys. For this person. Okay. I'm going to use the 4 hour turning point. The 4 hour turning point what at the white one. You can see anytime price gets to this particular turning point, it gives a reaction. So we had price getting to this turning point. You can see it bought. It got to the turning point again. What did it do? It bought. We got the break. We didn't really get a retest here, but we got price touching this level. We got the break. We got price retesting the level, selling. It came back to retest the level again. And you can see in the future too, price go back to the level again. You understand? Good. So automatically, if anytime price gets to that level, it reacts. So if price gets to the level again, what is it going to do? If it's not going to sell, it's going to break, retest, and buy. You understand? Good. That's how it is. They are just levels price reacted to the most. So you can see here, you can see the reaction. Anytime price gets to this level, you can see the sells. You can see the sells. You got the break, you got the retest. You can see the retest here. You got the buy. You can see another retest here. You can see the buy. So if price gets back to this level and it doesn't give a sell confirmation and it breaks and it retests and it gives a buy confirmation, what are you going to do? You're going to buy. Why? Because in the past, price has already done that. In trading, nothing is new. You understand? Everything has happened before. That's why we use the past we use the past projections to predict the future. You understand? So we project lines from the past to predict the future because if it happened in the past, automatically it will happen in the future. You understand? This is a marketplace. You understand? These are human beings buying and selling. You understand? Good. So that's as simple as that. So if you want to learn the turning point with that one, you have to practice, keep practicing, and you will get used to it. You understand? Good. So on the seminar, somebody asked me, can the person make it without a mentor? And I was like, yes, totally. You can make it without a mentor. Totally. You can trade, you can learn trading without a mentor. You understand? But why do you need a mentor? Understand? You need a mentor to make things very easy for you. You understand? In trading, we have the beginner's luck. Understand? We have the part of trading where you are making huge losses. And we have the part of trading where you are making profit, but it's just hand to mouth. Anytime you make the profit, you just buy something and that's all because it's not a lot. You understand? With that profit, immediately you make that profit, you go and buy your favorite food, or you go and dash it to your girlfriend, and everything is good. You understand? And we have the part where you are going to be making massive profits. You understand? So your mentor is the one who will guide you in each of these stages. Can you find it yourself? Can you find your way out on into each of these stages? Yes, you can find your way out. But why struggle and try and error whilst you can just ask a mentor what he did on when you go to a particular stage you are in and just go. You don't need to suffer to struggle to find out. You can just ask. You understand? The mentors are not just you guys shouldn't just use us for strategy. You want to learn strategy. You understand? You should be asking questions. You should be asking questions. You should be asking them or mentor, I'm at this phase of trading. What did you do when you got here? You understand? Because the funny thing is, any stage you get, I've already been there before, and I know what I did that took me out of that place where I survived. You understand? And I could just give you just one sentence, and when you use that 10 or that sentence I told you, you realize everything will start working. You understand? So mentors are not just for the teaching strategies, they can also help you or advise you on some things. You understand? There's one thing about Africans when they start a business, they don't want to ask those who have been into the business in the business for a very long time. You understand? You realize if you ask those people who have been to the business or who are successful in the business, you realize all the problems they went through, you will go through the same thing. You understand? So when the problems comes and you just ask, oh, when you go to this part, what did you do? Oh, I just did this, I just that, blah blah blah. They realize you do it and it's working. You understand? So can you make me that mentor? Yes, but it's going to take time. You will have to do the try and errors yourself. So why do the try and errors when your mentor has already done that for you? All you have to do is just ask him, hello, what did you do at this stage? Then he tells you, then you just do it and you are gone. You don't need to suffer. You understand? Good. So now this is what we did today. We did a simple top-down analysis. Let's go over again. We went to the weekly time frame. In the weekly time frame, we found our turning point. Good. So let's start with this turning point. You can see anytime price goes to this level, you can see the reaction. You can see how it sold. We got the break, got the retest. You can see the buy. Anytime price breaks a level, never enter. Anytime price breaks the level, never enter. Wait for the retest. You can see we got the break. Some people be in a hurry to enter, then you realize price will come to retest, then their funds are gone, then you start moving their way, and they'll be like it's their house witches. Do you get it? And you realize it's not. You understand? Always wait for the break and retest. So you can see when price got here to is sold. You can see price got here is sold. You can see when price got here it was buying. You understand? So anytime price gets to this particular level, it just keep reacting. It doesn't just pass by. You understand? So that was one turning point we got there. And this was another one. You can see the reaction here. You can see a reaction here. You can see another reaction here. And this one too, you can see the reaction at this level. And you can see the reactions. After that, what did we do? We went to the daily time frame. We went to the daily time frame. What did we do in the daily time frame? We went to find the trend of the market. You understand? This is current price. With current price, what is it telling? It's telling you as this is current price. It's telling us that what the current price is what bearish. You understand? And we got 3 touches on the trend line. You understand? Which is giving us valid trend line. What makes a trend line valid or a turning point valid? When it has 2 or more touches. Do you get it? Now you move into the far time frame, guys. You move the far time frame, you find your inside turning point. You can see those are the white lines. You find an inside turning point. You move into the 1 hour time frame, automatically your turning points either on the daily or either on the 4 hours or the weekly will be your support and resistance. Depending on the one that is close to price, if it wants to move upwards, or close to price if it wants to move downwards. So these 2 turning points were close to price. You can see this is price. If it wants to move, this is the closest. If it wants to move down, this is the closest. So the top is what our resistance, and then down is our support. This is a very simple strategy, and this is just the first day. So I'm just giving you guys the foundation. Understand? I'm laying the foundation on the ones we are going to teach. It's just a 1 week class, so we are not going to be taking too long on one analysis or one strategy. We are going to move into the next. You understand? And I keep telling you guys, I'll be teaching different strategies, but at the end of the day, it all boils down to what? Your foundation. And what's the foundation? Support and resistance, trend line, break and retest. You know, those petty things. You understand? Because the simple things will make you money, guys. The simple things will make you money. Immediately after price break a particular place, can we put a pending order there for a retest? You can put a pending order. You can set. So me, I don't really like pending orders or whatever. All I'm going to do is I'm going to set an alarm. So let's say I know price will break this level. I know price will break this level. I'll just set my alarm. You can see there's a plus sign here, right? So I just set my alarm here and I'll just add. You understand? And that's all. You can see there's a broken there are some broken lines here. You understand? So you realize anytime price get back to that level, trading view is just going to alert me that price has gotten to the level. So anything I want to do. So you can see this is the alarm, I'm just deleting it. Do you want to delete your alarm, Euro USD, crossing 1 point whatever, yes, delete. You understand? So I'll just set my alarm. If price get there, trading view is going to alert me and I just take it. You understand? Do I trade synthetics? Yes, I trade synthetics, I trade crypto, anything. This strategy works everywhere. So I trade anything, everything. You understand? So does it mean we don't use support and resistance in the 30 minutes and 50-minute time frame? Good. We use support and resistance everywhere. So, like I said, I've given you guys the foundation to set up your own strategy. You can use the same thing. You understand? You can use the same thing. But sometimes I don't know how it works, but sometimes you are just used to taking trades in a 15-minute time frame. And with my analysis, I never mentioned anything about 15-minute time frame. So what are you going to do? You're going to be using the same format, but what in different time frames. So let's say you want it to end at 15 minutes. You start at the daily time frame, find the 10 points at the daily time frame. You go to the 4 hour time frame. The 4 hour time frame. What are you going to find in the 4 hour time frame? You're going to find the trend of the market in the 4 hour time frame. Then what will you do again? Move it to the 1 hour time frame. You find your inside 10 points in the 1 hour time frame. Then you will go into the 15-minute time frame to find your support and resistance. You can see I've used the same format but in different time frames so it can suit me. You understand? That's why you need to be back tested. Once you do that, so any strategy you learn online, it just gives you an idea of the kind of strategy you can also make up for yourself. You understand? So it's up to you to just sit down and backtest the strategy. You can use the same thing, good, if it's working, perfect. But if it's not working with you, because sometimes some people also like taking trades in a 5 minutes. You understand? Just adjust the strategies, movement, or the time frame or everything, so you will end up taking your trade in 5 minutes. You understand? I hope you guys understand. Will we get certificate at the end of the training? Oh, also open certificate. Open certificate. Oh, the year there. The certificate should be you being profit. You being a profitable trader. If you become a profitable trader after this section, then I think that's the best certificate. Yeah, I find it very difficult depositing money in the synthetics. Any problem you have, all you have to do is just text me. You understand? I'm going to assist you. All you have to do is just text me. You understand? Certificate, open certificate. Oh, the year there. Oh, the year there. Oh, the year there. How do you text me on IG? Just text me on IG. I don't know. One thing about IG is when you text on IG, they hide your messages. Some people messages will show, others won't show. You understand? Yeah. So that's it for today, guys. That's it for today. That's it for today. And there's another thing you can always visit the Kofi FX Academy. You understand? You can always visit the Kofi FX Academy. You can always come and make inquiries. You can always visit the Kofi FX Academy. You understand? It's located at Okongo. On the Google Maps is the Kofi FX Training Academy. You understand? Good. Somebody said they didn't know I could speak Chi. Oh, bro. Uh, I can speak Chi very well. Do you understand? The Kofi FX Training Academy can always visit. I opened the academy for you guys to come and learn. You understand? Sometimes you just have to log in, guys. You need to log in. You understand? You need to log in. Right now, if you don't have money, nobody really rates you. You understand? Nobody really rates you. So you need to make something for yourself. You understand? And if you're in an environment where everybody is laughing at you and telling you that you don't this trading thing won't work and stuff, just mute them. You understand? Just mute them and just do your thing. You understand? Can we come without money? Oh, you can come. Come and make inquiries. Sometimes you don't have money, but then you just dress and come and make inquiries and be like, you know what? Okay, I'll come. You understand? That thing alone will even make you make have like something. You understand? When you just walk to the place, you get this different feeling of, bro, I need to calm down. You be thinking you always need money before you get to a place. No, dress like you have, come and make an inquiry, like, you know what, you hear from me. You understand? Something like that. You understand? So yeah, the class is being recorded. Understand? And the online mentorship is also ongoing, right? The online mentorship is ongoing, and I've realized most of the people don't have money to pay for the online mentorship. So um we are going to be helping you guys, you understand? But you have to also join. If you are not in Ghana, you can join the online mentorship. It's also very good. You understand? Yeah, it's also very good. And there's with the VIP people, I really wanted to talk to you guys sometimes, but I'll get time to talk to you guys. You understand? I'll get time to talk to you guys. You get it? Yeah. I've come across a video. Do you to improve on the online class? So this class is being recorded, so I'm going to post it for you guys. You understand? Yeah. I hope you guys have a great night. And yes, I'm having a cool, like, I'm not feeling well, but I have to show up for you guys. You understand? That's how you have to show up every day. You have to show up every day, whether you are happy or not. Whether you're happy or not, you always have to show up. Whether you are feeling good, whether anything, you have to show up. You understand? There's no excuses. You understand? You have to show up. Show up every time, guys. Show up. That's the main secret. Show up and keep practicing. So you guys practice this strategy, and if you have any analysis that you can make out of this strategy too, you can send it to me. So I just look through it, guys. I'm always here for you guys. Yeah. See you guys in our next class, which is tomorrow. Bye. Stay safe, guys.